Okay, this is a walk I did 4 years ago. This is a repeat walk. Well, I've done it several times before. A circular walk up this valley towards the village of, the hamlet of Croesor. Um, it's quite a nice walk. It's excellent views of the mountains. There's Malthy and Hebog, and to, there's some the Malwyn's excellent range of mountains. Uh, that's the main feature of this walk, and of course the main feature is the excellent views you have of the Welsh Matterhorn. You can see why it's obviously called the Welsh Matterhorn. There's another picture of it with the sun shining on it. The sun didn't come out too much on this walk. There's an attractive hideaway house I passed by on the walk. I think, so continuing along this, this is towards the end of the walk, towards Croesor, and there's another big picture of the Welsh Matterhorn from the cafe, this Cafe Croesor, which also serves as an art gallery. Okay, I couldn't park in the Croesor car park. It was full, so I parked a bit further down on the side of the lane. There was a little parking spot there, so I wasn't blocking anyone's way. So I'm walking away from the Croesor now and back down the valley along this tarmac lane which serves the village of Croesor, and it's all unfortunately, as I say, it's cloudy, so there's no real colour in the first half of the walk. The sun did come out a little bit later on, so continue along this lane. I will be turning off after a mile and a half from the start and down to the valley floor along supposedly right away. And there's another good view there, the mountains that you can see. That's Malthy and Hebog. Continuing along this lane, which passes by this old cottage, and a bit further on, I'll see a signpost and walk down on slippery grass down to the valley floor. Try and find what there's a right of way marked on the map, but there's a look in the distance is Snowdon. Yeah, this is the footpath sign, a gate, but no sign of a trodden footpath, so I'm not quite sure if I'd recommend it. But there's the mighty Sinich, the Welsh Matterhorn. I think I pronounced that name right. There's the rather steep grassy slope. There was a little bit of a shower earlier on, so a little bit slippery, but I have to climb my way through these ferns down to the valley floor, and here's some reassuring sight. A group of walkers, which indicates there is a passable right of way. I'm not sure what their destination, whether they came down from Croesor or not. But anyway, I reached the bottom there by a stream, and there's two streams here, but they join together, and continue along the side of this little stream. And I'm looking here for a bridge that crosses this stream, supposedly on a right of way to the footpath that goes up to the ridge, but I ended up in a tangle of ferns, and which actually there's some kind of a trodden footpath, and all it did was lead to a beehive. So I had to beat a retreat because I didn't want to force my way through this jungle of ferns and brambles. So I back on this track which runs along the side of the stream. It did one time served as a railway for the miners that were mining on the mountains above Croesor. I reached the road here, cross the stream again, and then reach this track here which serves some cottages and also as a right of way. So I added about a half a mile to the walk. I've not been able to cross find that footpath earlier on, which is marked, as I say, on the Ordnance Survey map. Across this bridge to see if I could see any sign of that so-called footpath that couldn't see any sign of it, so yeah, but I could have maybe forced my way through there, but I decided not to take the chance. Okay, so now the sun's come out and that, so it only came out briefly, and that was the story for the rest of the walkways. The sun came out and added a bit of colour, and still, as you say, most of the trees still haven't started to turn colour. Okay, I start here on climbing up this wooded hillside up to the top of this minor ridge. Quite a steep ascent. It's about roughly 150 foot ascent, I think, up to the top of the ridge there, where there's excellent views immediately to be obtained. You can see more hebog, just a silhouette basically because of the lack of sunshine. And there's Snowdon in the far distance. There's the main highlight of this walk, Sinich, and from this angle it looks like a miniature Matterhorn. There's the Norwins there, another excellent mountain range. So I'll continue along this hilltop ridge walk and continue to really good views of the surrounding mountains. And it's fairly well trodden, this path, and it's quite well signposted. The ridge broadens out a little bit further on, and kind of becomes fairly wooded, so the views to some extent disappear. This track here leads to this hideaway house here. It was Paul Garth. It was sold in January 2017 for £375,000. So yeah, but it's a hideaway house. If you like peace and quiet, that's the place to come. Okay, this track the footpath continues on this kind of it's quite pleasant woody section. Occasionally you get a glimpse of through the trees of the surrounding scenery. The sun came out again, so always nice. And in the distance, of course, is the highlight of this walk, the views of the Welsh Matterhorn. And the footpath goes by this side of this house onto a track here, which is now permissive right away. It was the actual Ordnance Survey footpath goes off to the side. This isn't actually permissive right away now. This track here, which leads onto this lane, which goes into the village, the hamlet of Croesor. And there's no longer a chapel, but there's a memorial seat to Mr. Bob Owen, born in 1885 and passed away in 1962. So I had a break here, but I could have had a break in an attractive little cafe just less than a quarter mile further on, and but I didn't know if it was open. So there's so the little very quiet hamlet does have a little school, believe it or not. Okay, here's advertisement in the Croesor car park, advertised in the cafe, and this was full earlier on, as I mentioned, and now 1 or 2 parking spaces available. Okay, so I go along back to, okay, here's the inside of this very nice little cafe here. It's got a lot of atmosphere to it, formerly an old farmhouse, which has been done up by the Croesor community, and it also serves as an art gallery, which are upstairs. And there's the artist there, Bev Dunn. She has her paintings for sale, and there's some, apologise for the lack of focus, it's indoors, and she has the paintings on display here. And this upper floor also serves as a dining area. So I was actually surprised 4 years ago when I last came here. It was closed. It was off this time of year. It was, but now they decided to open it later in the season. So there's the paintings on display. That's Sinich there. And, yeah, look at that, very nice. And this is the end of this walk now. There's a cat on the side and looking back. And I'm parked just around the corner here. So this is the end. And thanks for watching. End the video. Cheers.